everyone, and welcome to the opening episode of Heart and Hand Extra. That's our later in the week preview of the weekend's action, and we also take into account anything that has happened since Monday's flagship show. Now, normally we drop on a Thursday, but we're currently playing on Thursdays, and after last night it looks as though we could be playing on Thursday for a little while longer. Joining me to discuss this is Paisley's Rose himself, the most apt person I could think of to join me for a St Mirren preview show. It's David Marshall. Hello, David.
Afternoon, David. I'm quite happy to be here and representing the whole town of Paisley on my shoulders today.
Not that big a responsibility, in all honesty. No. Anyone who's actually some nice bits of Paisley now. You know, there's the mill thing, and the Abbey. You know, I mean, it's not slightly less stabbings last year.
And exactly, we don't get as much smash bus stop these days, so that's good.
Exactly, that's because I've taken all the bus stops away. you can just get wet. But we'll come, of course, to the match against St Mirren later in the show. But David, there really is only one place to start this week, and that was Thursday night at Ibrox. Rangers versus NK Maribor. We said on Monday that it would be a difficult task against a side with Champions League experience. They have an average 8 of 28. They've been together a number of years. Solid, physical, streetwise European team. And it was maybe not top tier European nights at Ibrox, obviously, but it was getting into the lower end of the conversation. The atmosphere was fantastic, and I've mentioned this on our Patreon site. That was the best Rangers performance I've seen at Ibrox since 2012 when we beat Celtic 3-2. I don't think that there's been a performance against a side of that quality, with Rangers looking not only their match but better than them. And in the second half, Rangers, I thought, were splendid.
Absolutely. I mean, I absolutely loved Thursday night. I thought it was brilliant. I thought we were excellent for the most part. The atmosphere, as you said, David, the place was absolutely jumping for the majority of the game. It's really something when you're in there for a packed Ibrox and you've got all four stands of the stadium just, belting out noise. It was superb. That was a decent team we were going up against, and for the most part of the game, we outplayed them. We were the better team. I think that's the pleasing thing about it, David. As you said, you can say it's the best performance that we've had since 2012. Probably so, because it is one of the better teams we've faced since 2012. This is a team with Champions League experience. They've got to where they have this season in Europe on merit as well, as have we. We need to beat these teams. We can't go out and just, half-arse it and think we'll stroke a victory. That's not going to happen. If we weren't at it last night, Maribor would have beat us. I mean, could you imagine last year's team going up against that side? We'd have got absolutely ram-raided about 3-0 last night. But we were good.
Yes, we had to be, as you say, we had to be. They were a good side. And you can see that incidentally. Look at the way they used the ball. Look at their pressing. Rangers didn't get time in the ball. And it goes both ways. They had to, you look at their goal, it was an absolute belter. And it had to be, again, because we played well. Again, a bit like Osijek last week, I just thought, this is a good game between two good teams, two evenly matched teams. But for us to say that we are a good side, that is a leap from last season, and you're spot on. But the argument I used before we played Osijek, last year we wouldn't have got to this round. We didn't, and there would have been no danger. And you're right, Maribor against us last season would have been a free hit for them. And we started really well. Got a goal after 5 minutes. The reborn Alfredo Morelos, who we'll come to, who was sensational, I thought, last night. He gets the goal after good move down the right. Ryan Kent's shot saved by the goalkeeper. He's there to tuck it away. I know that some in the media, the impartial Scottish media, felt it was offside. It wasn't even close. Rangers take the lead, and for 20 minutes I think are the better side, but then Maribor got a foothold, and then they started to make chances. Alan McGregor with a couple of good stops, an excellent block from James Tavernier, and then a kind of one of those moments that could have shaped the game in a negative way for us, which was a mistake by their goalkeeper. He passes the ball straight out to Daniel Candeias, who's rushing in. He could shoot, but he elects to square it to Alfredo Morelos, but he's wandered offside, and he was offside. There was no dubiety about it. So the goal was disallowed. And really from that, they break up the park, score a cracker. I mean, what a finish by the boy. Cross on the half volley, rushing in at the back post, and he just smashes a volley up and over Alan McGregor. Really not a lot Alan McGregor can do about something like that, David. It was just a great strike.
Absolutely. Do you know, I felt a bit ashamed because when I first saw it, I was sitting in the Govan Reel last night, and my first thought was actually, did McGregor look a bit suspect there? But see, when I watched it back, shut my mouth, you know, it was an absolutely fantastic finish. Like, the Shagger had absolutely no chance. I don't know what I was thinking to even call him into question for it. A superb strike. And you know, the thing about that, David, as well, go back the last 2 years since we came up to the SPL, or the Scottish Premiership, how many times have we been on top, got a goal in front, then we've lost a goal and just crumbled? You know, that could, if this was in anything last 2 years, last night we'd have crumbled under that bit of flatness just after the goal went down in the crowd. You did feel the air come out of it. But
it was a double whammy, David. It was a double whammy because we could be,
absolutely.
Within a minute we could be 2 up and we're 1 each. Actually, a guy sitting next to me had gone down for a pie, came back up and he went, "The fuck, 1 each?" And I said, yeah. He said, "I just heard a roar down there." And I thought we were 2 up. I said, "No, we had a goal disallowed and then they scored 1. Like, fuck's sake. So the poor guy's wandering back up thinking we're 2-0 up and it was actually 1 each. But
so it's his fault.
I will blame him. So half time thankfully came and we needed it. They were well on top. And look, I'll admit, I thought, this is tough. We need to get a lead to go over there, but we're going to have to really scrap to do it. Well, Rangers came out, my goodness, I don't know what they're putting in the tea at Ibrox half time, but Rangers came flying out, just dominated as they would the whole half. And we got again brilliant play from Alfredo Morelos, long ball through. He outmuscled their centre back, who will be having nightmares about Alfredo Morelos tonight and last night, incidentally. He pulls him back, penalty kick. James Tavernier steps up, puts it away. We'll come to him as well in a minute. And from that, Rangers still have to be on our guard because, as I say, good side. They used the ball really well, but Rangers fought for everything and made chances actually. But then, with a few minutes to go, the third of the guys I want to highlight last night, heart and hands, Lassana Coulibaly, he gets on. First of all, he gets a knock on his shoulder. He injures his shoulder. Mm-hmm. He runs off, let's be honest, a dislocated shoulder. He runs it off and then seconds later gets on the end of a cross with said shoulder to put it away for 3-1. Ibrox goes barmy. It was just one of those wonderful moments. 3-1, we see it out and a great win. But I want to highlight those 3 performances and we'll start off with, you can take your pick of any one of these 3 for man of the match, in my opinion, but we'll start off with James Tavernier because obviously yesterday the bid comes in from West Bromwich Albion of 1.8 million. I'll crack the jokes. They then get it up to about 3 million and Rangers still say nope, not going to cut it. They cut off the negotiations. James Tavernier plays. Now, I was a little worried before it. I thought, I wonder if this will affect him. But hell, he was brilliant. And the mentality was something that we want to see from Tav. I think a few of the podders had spoke when he was appointed captain. They were a little surprised at this, but that was the effort of a dressing room leader, I felt.
No, you talk about some of the podders being a bit, worried about Tav getting the captaincy. I was certainly among them. I thought it'd be McGregor who'd get the armband. But I tell you what, last night Tav looked every bit the Rangers captain. He was superb last night, and as you say, he must have had all day. He must have knew, like, I'm either playing tonight or I'm going to be going to West Brom. And for him to come out last night and put in that performance, it speaks volume of him, not just a player but his character. His performance on its own, I think it's one of the best performances we've seen from Tav in our Rangers jerseys, certainly from a defensive point of view. That block to stop that shot at 1-0, that was absolutely superb. I thought he was excellent last night, and if that's the James Tavernier we're going to get this season, then he's going to be a real asset for us.
Alfredo Morelos, who I would say was my man of the match, I thought was fantastic. That is exactly what you need. If you're playing this system with one central striker, especially in Europe, that's exactly what you need to do. The ball's got to stick. There can't be any easy possession for the centre backs. Every time it goes up, he's got to hold it, bring people into play. He's got to win free kicks. He's got to win throw-ins. He's got to keep them up there. He's got to be on the end of things. He's got to always be a danger so that the centre backs, one of them can't come out and add an extra man out of midfield. He did all of that and more. The turnaround in Alfredo Morelos, whose red card was rescinded that we discussed the other day, which is good because he'll play at the weekend, but the turnaround in him from, I thought the Nadir, I thought one of his worst performances for Rangers against Scoopy in the second leg, where he looked disinterested, he didn't look, I thought, fit, and I was very critical because I was disappointed. He's better than that. Look, people laughed about £10 million bids. He plays like that, that's a £10 million player.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's been some turnaround. I think I was on that Scoopy post-match pod and I think the vast majority for us was, if he's going to be like that this season, we may as well get rid. And it's just a different player from the start of pre-season. That's the Alfredo Morelos you want. Absolutely love the wee guy when he's like that, and you can see the passion in him when he plays as well. He nods along to his own song when he's in that mood. He's simply unplayable, David.
Yeah, he was. I mean, the Scoopy number 4 by the end looked old and he looked tired and he just didn't want to do Maribor, sorry, yeah. He just didn't want to be there. The Scoopy guy's probably still having nightmares, but he just, whatever the gaffer's taken him aside and said has worked. He looks leaner, he looks fitter, he looks hungry, he looks like scoring again. And look, there are times when Alfie doesn't. There are times where you think, a chance for him. I'm not sure he wants it because he thinks he's going to miss. Not now. He's on fire, and it was, like I say, a terrific striker's performance. And then thirdly, heart and hands own Lassana Coulibaly, who Stevie Gerrard said when we got him, he's a destroyer, he breaks things up. Last night he would have tackled his maternal grandmother to win the ball. He was everywhere. He just breaks up, he blocks, he's enthusiastic. There was no easy possession for the Maribor players, which was great because they could use the ball, you could see that. And look, they still made stuff happen because they're good players, but it was a fight in that midfield. He was ably backed by Scott Arfield. I think Oviajari as well. Defensively, for a guy who doesn't look the most imposing, did put in a shift for us. But I thought Coulibaly topped off with a goal, which is obviously a bonus. But early days, and look, we all remember we were raving about Sean Goss 3 games in. I do think Coulibaly looks a significantly better player, but still, it is early days. But the gaffer said today, that's 4 or 5 games, and he's only going to get better. So that's exciting. That really is exciting.
I mean, firstly, to the rest of the Rangers support, I think everyone at Heart and Hand should just say you're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
But it was absolutely superb. I thought the whole, as you say, the midfield 3 yesterday put in a really good shift, but he just seemed to be everywhere. I've seen, I don't know if it's his actual nickname, but I've seen people on Twitter call him the Machine. That describes him to an absolute T. He just seemed to be this big destroyer that was going through them every time. And the guy can play as well. That's another thing as well. He's very comfortable with the ball at his feet. I tell you, see when that goal went in, David, as well, I thought at first it was Morelos who got the touch, so I'm jumping about, and then see eventually when the stadium announcer says Coulibaly, I grab my mate beside me and go, was that Heart and Hands Lassana Coulibaly? I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, but superb. It was just a cherry on top of what was an excellent night last night.
I have to admit that from a selfish point of view, one of the things that made me laugh was round about where I sat in the main stand. 4 or 5 times he would make a tackle or something, and when he scored the ball, people would go, Heart and Hands, Lassana Coulibaly. I was like, this is the greatest moment of my life. So, fabulous performance, fabulous night. Note of caution, Ty's not done. It was brilliant and I enjoyed it, and we all should, and we should revel in it, and it bodes so well for the future. But Maribor will feel they're capable of doing us 2-0 at their own ground, and if we don't go there with the same attitude, work rate, commitment and desire, we could struggle.
Absolutely. But do you know, David, I don't have many fears about that, because listening to the manager last night, it was one of the first things he stressed in his post-match interview. Said, we've done really well tonight, but this tie isn't done. Related it back to moments in his own career, said, I've turned around just like that in my own career.
Personally, he has on his own.
One big massive one that stands out.
Yeah, exactly. Quite a high level one.
But that's so good to hear your manager saying that, and I think that shows what we're going to do next week. I think we're going to go out there. We've got confidence in our defence. I think we're going out there to look for the first goal next week, because I do think if we get that first goal, that does kill the tie. And for there, we can just hopefully play out, stay tight at the back, which I think we're more capable of doing. The tie's not over, but I tell you what, we're in a massive position now, right in the driving seat.
Yeah, Ryan Jack to come back as well would be a huge boost. He's exactly the type of player you want for that type of match.
Where we get it just seems all of a sudden that we've got this massive depth in the squad now. It's like we're bringing Jamie Murphy off the bench last night as well. It's so good to have this quality waiting to come into the team as well.
Yeah, McCrory as well come on last night. We had a wee look at Sadiq, who I think is going to be who's going to be the kind of new Ted McMinn. There was a moment towards the end where he belted along with those big legs, got in front of the defender after giving him a head start, got the ball, lovely bit of skill to get to the corner, then goes to do something or other but just kicks it straight out for a by kick, and all of that wrapped up in about 30 seconds. So I think he could be one that occasionally has you simultaneously grabbing for your gonads and at the other time pulling your hair out, or what little I have left. So yeah, excellent victory. Now, some departures this week we should talk about, and the polarising Rangers career of Josh Windass is over. He left yesterday to join Wigan for a fee of £2.5 million plus various add-ons dependent on how he does down there. Now, the clubs that came in for him were the ones who got to bidding stage were Ipswich and Wigan, and the other club who had asked Rangers to keep them in touch were Rotherham. Now, from what I'm told, the Windass camp were said to be a little surprised at the level of club coming in for him. Are you?
No.
Well, that's very honest. I'll admit I was slightly surprised. I didn't believe he could get a Premiership gig, but I did think he could get a higher end Championship club. I thought, but at the end of the day, the market dictates, and that's why I think when people are saying, well, we should have asked for 4, we should have asked for 5 for him. Look who came in for him. That he's not as highly rated as, I was going to say, some fans rate him, but also as he rates himself, clearly.
I mean, we could ask for 10, David, but if nobody's going to pay for it, then they're not going to pay for it.
In a nutshell, and as I say, you look at the club he's gone to. He spoke to, or Stephen Gerrard said he spoke to him, and he said he wanted to talk to Wigan because he wants to play as a number 9, and Stevie G said, well, I can't guarantee him that. And that's fair enough. I mean, I do think Josh Windass is a talented player. I think, though, you have to find the system that suits him best, and I think unless you play in a 2 with him as the kind of slightly deeper striker, I'm not sure he can contribute enough. So yeah, he could go down there and do very, very well. One of the problems with Josh Windass is he could go down there, David, and he could tear it up and get a move for 10 million in the following summer, or he could go down there and flop badly. Nobody knows, and that's the problem with him, that you can't tell what you're going to get from Josh Windass.
No, I think that's spot on. As you say, he's the kind of player where you need to build your team around him. Graham Murray tried to do that, and Graham Murray's not the Rangers manager, so that tells you how well that worked out for him. He's just not reliable enough for you to build your team around him. Maybe he can get away with that. Wigan, they're not really expected to win every week. At Rangers, you are. And unfortunately, Josh Windass just wasn't a good enough player for us to build the team around him. No,
I wish him all the best. Got nothing against the guy. I'm not going to lie and say I'm deeply disappointed that he's gone, because I'm not.
No.
And I think that as long as the money gets reinvested, we do need, I think, more attackers. And if that was to happen before the end of the Scottish window, which obviously is the end of the month, then that would be great. Now, some people have asked, can we still loan players from England? Yes, you can. You can still buy players from England. They can let players go. It's up to them. But because this is a voluntary window for them. But although I believe it's getting standardised next season, David, that most leagues are going to bring in as the seasons kick off, that'll be the end of windows. But it does seem a little strange at the moment that they've decided to do this when there's still so much transfer activity going on in the rest of the world.
Yeah, if for next season the big European leagues, your Spain's, Italy's, Germany's are going to uniform this along with the English league. It does seem like this season though the English have hampered themselves, voluntarily. I think as well though, David, they'll have a wee bit of with the rest of Europe following toe now. I think they'll be quite happy that they're doing it first, because they like to be seen, it's our game and they're innovating it. So I think they'll take that 1 year hampering to show that they're doing the best for football overall.
I like the idea. I've said this before. So I like the idea of that when your league season starts, you've got your squad. I think it's sensible. So I get that, and I think we've all seen before at our club, and most fans of this, a player who has maybe not kicked his arse for about 4 weeks until he finds out where he's going to be at the start of September, and then either leaves or kicks into gear. So yeah, hopefully it'll clear up these mysterious August injuries that seem to become more common over the last couple of years. But yeah, I mean, a good window for Rangers overall, Dave.
Absolutely, I think we've done really good business. I think overall we've upgraded in the places we had to upgrade. We've strengthened in the areas where we were weak. Just look at our defence for, to see that laid into action. I think we've done some really good business so far, and that's also with the point that we're still only midway through August. We could still have business to come in and improve the squad further. I'm
sure we will have. Now, the press conference today featured Borna Barisic, who of course arrived from Osijek for a fee, according to Steve Gerrard, of just $1.5 million, which we also let Declan John go for $800,000 yesterday. That, to me, seems a clear upgrade based on what we've seen. Okay, admittedly limited of Borna Barisic, but I'm perfectly happy with that. He comes into contention for the match on Sunday. And an interesting tie, David, because of the matches Rangers have played this season, with the probable exception of Scoopy, I don't think people have had Rangers overwhelming favourites in any of them. And again, the Scoopy tie was a bit different because it was, the brand new team, the players, the first match, we didn't really know what we were getting, that kind of thing. Rangers are expected to win this one. The fans are expecting, I'm expecting that you look at St Mirren and you think, no, St Mirren at Ibrox, we should be winning that comfortably. It's a different type of pressure from what they've experienced, but one they will have to get used to.
I mean, this is your bread and butter if you're a Rangers player. You need to go into these games at Ibrox, your run-of-the-mill league games, and make them run-of-the-mill. On that point, David, I expect us to win quite comfortably on Sunday. I speak to St Mirren fans quite regularly. There's not many people in black and white going to Ibrox and Sunday expecting too many miracles. They'll sit in deep, they'll try and be tight and hopefully try and nick the odd goal or just hold out for enough in each. This is not a game that they're concentrating full on their season. They know they'll have bigger games coming up in terms of where they can get points and stay up. For Rangers, yeah, this should just be we turn up, we play our best, and if that happens, we will come away with the win.
It's interesting because St Mirren, of course, newly promoted back in the Premier League again, but they came up under a different manager, Jack Ross, who very, very highly rated young manager, as witnessed by the fact that he's now moved off down south. He's away to Sunderland, and has a very good reputation in the Scottish game. Clearly had turned St Mirren round from Christ. They were looking as though they were heading into League One at one point when he arrived, and he turned it round and brought them back up pretty much at a canter, in all honesty. But he's departed. They've brought in Alan Stubbs, which is great because long-time listeners will know my Alan Stubbs impression. Will get a dusting down. Insert obligatory will not sell Scott Allen to Rangers joke at this point. But they don't seem quite as taken with them. The way it was described, I saw online by a St Mirren fan, is losing Jack Ross and getting Alan Stubbs is a bit like losing a tenner and finding a used Johnny. So there doesn't seem to be a lot of love for him.
It's a bit of a double-edged sword in terms of that, because there is still a lot of I think remorse of Jack Ross leaving St Mirren. As you say, he was very highly rated over there. The turnaround that he done at that club was superb. I think to a large extent he punched above his weight. I don't really know where they are with the squad they've had the last couple of years. Should really be in the Premiership at this point, but they've got there, and very much of that is to do with Jack Ross. Alan Stubbs, I mean, in Scotland he is a decent coach to a level. Is that level going to be enough for St Mirren? That'll be plenty to see over the course of the season. A lot of St Mirren fans are a bit in that, apathetic side with him, especially after the Sunderland game when Jack Ross came back to St Mirren and thumped Alan Stubbs' team 6-0. There was a lot of Saints fans that day earning for Jack Ross to come back, but they've had some weird results over the pre-season as well, David. They drew with Spartans in Queen's Park in the Betfred Cup. As you can imagine, not many St Mirren fans happy with that one. And of course the thumping of Sunderland as well. Last week when they got the win over Dundee, again, they're a funny team, St Mirren. They can play good football at times, and their first goal was really well worked. It was a ball out to the wing, lovely cross in by Paul McGinn and headed in by Danny Mullen. And from there, they fell out the game. Dundee got their goal.
Sorry, what's a Dundee United? I vaguely remember the term from years ago, but I haven't heard it in a long time.
Tesco FC, mate. I think.
Right, yeah, that new Tesco that's opened up Tannadice Street. Thank you, go on.
Into the second half, for 20-25 minutes into that second half, last week, Wirren were absolutely dreadful. I mean, they really were. They didn't show up at all. They were kept in the game by their goalkeeper, Craig Sampson. Saved a penalty, which he initially gave away, and he also had 2 or 3 other good saves as well. Dundee as well had, just didn't have their shooting boots on. They blasted a couple of really good chances over the bar, high and wide. By the time where St Mirren did take the lead, they could have easily been 2 or 3 goals down, and the goal they did got was presented to them by an awful mistake by the Dundee goalkeeper, Jack Hamilton. As I said, they can play good football, but they have some really glaring weaknesses in their defence. They look quite sure. They've got Jack Baird and their new signing Cole Pikawa in there. That big guy Pikawa, he looks a bit of a bomb scare waiting to happen. He's a big, solid, massive unit, but with the ball at his feet, he just looks a nightmare at times. There's been quite a few times I've been watching him this year. He's went to make a clearance and just totally skiffed it and presented a chance to the attack. As I said, David, this one's probably come too early for someone. With that as well, they're still a new team with lots of new signings. They're still gelling, and I think we're just going to have way too much of them on Sunday.
I'm very much looking forward to it, and that's important because the last few seasons, let's be honest, there's been, from quite early in the season, it's been a bit of a chore turning up at Ibrox, and you've been watching the games through the cracks in your fingers at times. I had adopted a position at Ibrox of just sitting with my head very close to my hands for when it would need to go into it, which was regularly. So the fact that, as I say, I'm counting down the hours, I can't wait until we play, and that's brilliant. Probably see some changes, Dave. I think obviously Ryan Jack's not going to come in. We should probably see Borna Barisic make his debut. Possibly the likes of Jamie Murphy will come into the side, but at this stage of the season, you might look to give somebody a break before the big game on Thursday, but you would hope they had enough in their legs at this point to just be playing week in, week, or game in, game out.
Absolutely. On that point, I've been excited to go to the game, David. I mean, I came home from Ibrox last night and I was just buzzing, I was whistling songs, trying to dance with my dog, and he was interested. And I was like, I can't even wait 3 more days till I get back to Ibrox. I'm only been now. I'm like a kid in Christmas, and now I'm just totally in love with this team, totally buzzing with everything Gerard's doing with this squad. Yep, the squad itself, I think the players here, they should have enough legs to get past St Mirren on Sunday. We will see a couple of changes. Borna Bear will come in. I think the left back position the next week or so is going to be real interesting as well. But yeah, I don't see too many changes, 1 or 2, and the squad that's going out there, I think, as I said, will have more than enough to get past their opponents.
I'm going to go for Rangers 3-0 on Sunday. David, what's your prediction?
I've been saying 3-0 all week as well, mate.
So, there's your bet, folks. If you're going to your turf accountant, then that's the Heart and Hand recommended bet. Okay, then that's everything from us here on Heart and Hand Extra, our season debut. Thank you very much for listening. If you'd like to hear more from us, we're here Tuesday and, as I say, usually Thursday, but given our games, there's going to be a wee bit of dubiety about that. It might be Fridays for a wee while. Hopefully, will be for a number of weeks. But we'll always try and get in with a pre-match preview. As I say, just get it from all the usual places. Someone did ask me, because the show was a little late dropping on iTunes and Android and all those stores. Basically what happens with these shows is I physically put it up on Acast, YouTube, Patreon, but to go on to those other pod stores, it goes through Playback Media, and that can sometimes take a little while. So you'll always get it first if I think you should sign up to the Patreon, where you'll also get it ad-free, incidentally. But even if you think, no, screw you, Edgar, you've got enough blue pounds to be off sponsoring dynamic holding midfielders, that you will get it first on Acast as well then, or always on YouTube. So that's my advice. The likes of this one, for example, it's due Friday night. It'll be on those platforms Friday night. If it takes a couple of days to arrive everywhere else, you know why. So that's my tip to you guys. Patreon itself, just go to patreon.com/Heart and Hand. 6 shows going on yesterday and 5 today. We generally do 3, more often 4, and as I say, sometimes even more. And Dave, you are all over the site, including with 6 of the best.
Yeah, if you've not asked the 6 of the best before, please do. What we do is it's kind of a list show that you see on like YouTube and whatnot, and we go through some topics and relive some of the greatest moments in Rangers history. We've done like the 6 recently. We've done the 6 best season openers, European qualifiers. My one this week's a little bit different. I've got James Forrest, not that one, on with me, and we're going through 6 of his favourite games following Rangers.
So you can get that patreon.com/Heart and Hand, just $1.99 per month. All that remains to do is to thank my executive producers in London, Mike Lee and Paul Miles, and to thank my guest, the voice of Paisley, Mr. David Marshall.
Pleasure, David.
Thanks for listening, folks. We'll be back on Monday. Until then, take care. Cheers. Bye.